Hi Hammers fans, Paul here. Wow, a lot happened this week. First of all, really glad we're out of the Carabao Cup. I know that's not a popular decision. Well, actually, I think one of the votes online, it was like 60%. People were quite pleased, actually. I'm one of them. I don't think we're out of relegation trouble yet. I think we've got a good start. It would be a shame to get injuries. A shame for the team to start to focus on a cup instead of where we are right now. I know other people think that that's too conservative and that we are not thinking or looking forward to certain positives out there, but not me. I am quite happy that we're out of that cup. It's a tin pot cup at best. To me, it's not a real trophy at all. It used to be called the Milk Cup, for God's sake, when I was around, and I was so pumped to see Bristol Rovers beat Man United. That those self-styled Big Six get right up my nose, and I was so pleased to see that. But wouldn't you know it, who are they drawn against? Because you can't have them in the final. They're drawn against Man City. Sure as hell, they're not making it past Man City. I'm sorry. I don't know what the odds on that are, but if you put 400 quid, you might get 3 back. I don't know. And Arsenal and Chelsea drawn against each other, so it's going to be a big team versus more than likely a big team. Yeah, no, that's totally orchestrated. Where would we have been? We probably would have been drawn against Man United as well, seeing as out of those 3 other teams there, we would have been the lowest in the totem pole. So no, I'm quite happy we're out of there. Our squad is thin on the ground. We're not out of trouble yet. Really pleased to see we're out of that. I know it sounds negative, but for me it's nothing. The FA Cup, different matter. I look forward to that and hope we do well in that. After the transfer window, more on that later, I think we might be in a position to do a little bit better in that. So I take my hat off to Moyes. And you know what? A month ago, we'd have lost that 5-0. So there's a positive for you. Anyway, we're out of that one. Watched Newcastle against Leicester a couple of weekends ago, was it? And they were very unlucky to lose that match. They've got a man up front, forget what his name is now, Championship forward. But he's a bit like a poor man's Vardy, nowhere near the accuracy, but he's tenacious and really wound up. And I think he's the ADHD. He never seems to stop. He's got lots of energy, but he can't seem to convert. They've lost the last 3 of their matches, I think, Everton, Arsenal, by a goal. They're no pushover, and so that's another reason I'm really happy that we didn't risk any long-term players for that match. We're going to need all our wits about us. Don't take Newcastle too easily or think of them too lightly, squad members, if any of you are watching any of this, because they are going to give you a run for your money. They like to push high, they've got lots of energy, and we know how hard our team finds it when a team gets in their faces and gives them no time. The passing accuracy goes down. Okay, moving on, Lanzini's banning, ridiculous, a typical FA move. You've seen far worse dives by all the players in the Big Six. I mean, I've seen, Jesus, Otamendi, Gray, Lukaku, Aguero, Sterling, all of those have, any attacking midfielder forward have done far worse manoeuvres than that. Sure, Lanzini dived, but it was more of a reaction to a leg, which most certainly would have knocked him over anyway. And sure, he did it. It was a little Oscar-worthy. Why not? An Oscar-worthy avoiding manoeuvre. I think that's the minimum any player ever does. The FA just looked at that and said, oh, it's little old West Ham, not a Big Six club. It's not going to affect anything of any vital importance. We can't be criticised for this and we'll look like we're doing something. Yeah, that is highly cynical. They do it once or twice a season. It's that they want to be seen doing something. It's not really that they want to actually do this too often. I'm all for getting rid of diving. What they should have done is given him a warning and said, you do that again, you will get a two-match suspension. They should do that. They can do that far more liberally to every team and make a far bigger impact. It just takes that took me 3 seconds to come up with that one? It's not hard. They don't want to do it. Okay. Really, it's going to be a short one today because there's a lot coming up. Lots of matches over, and we're not through the big, the troubles we've been in. I think we show a lot of promise. We're up to, 15th right now, but I mean, any one of the teams below us win and we lose, and we're right back in the mix again. So I want our Christmas period with some nice fixtures that we've got to be successful, productive, and I don't really care how we play to do that. Just get through it. If we come out the other side in the new year and we're safely in 12th, 11th, 12th position, maybe 13th, I'm happy, and then we can start looking at who we're going to buy. So here are the Christmas presents that I have that I want to see under the tree. First of all, I'm in a giving mood. I would like to wrap up Big Andy, and I would love to give him to Newcastle for Christmas. After this weekend, of course, not before. Well, you can't do that anyway. I would also like to gift Stoke with Diafra. He wants to go. We want him to go. I want to see Hughes really understand that there's a whole other level of ungrateful. If he thought Arnautovic was ungrateful, God, I want to see the vocabulary that comes out of his mouth when he sees Sacco come off and give him an earful about not getting his bonus. Wow. Yeah, Sparky will have sparks. So yeah, they're my two gifts. What I also think we need is I think we need a sporty right back. Zabaletta's great. He's not as quick as he could be. He's good in every other department. He's a great leader, but we're thin on the ground. Our backup for that position, I've forgotten his name now, ex-Leeds player, Young, is good. He's okay. He's a squad player, but I would like to sporty right back, someone who can do the left-sided job that Cresswell is starting to. Mind you, I'm liking Cresswell as a back three, actually, and Masuaku in that other position. But yeah, some balance. I'd also like, I'm a bit fed up with Obiang's inconsistency. He can be fantastic in one match and completely anonymous, or worse, a negative asset with his passing in others. The same goes for Kayute. I don't want him. We're rich in that position, but we're poor in that position. We have a lot of people who can fill it. Rice, I think, is fabulous, and he can fill either that or centre back. But I would like one more, and I would like someone who's got a real engine on him and some creativity back there, so he can dig us out of trouble and catapult us on to an attack with one or two sublime passing moves. He's got his head up. He's got a footballing brain. I don't know who that person is. I don't think it's the Portuguese player we've been talking about. And the reason I don't think it's him is because he's unproven. I don't think you spend to get yourself out of trouble on unproven players. I think you have to spend on a proven player. It doesn't sound like Wilshere or is coming. It doesn't sound like any of the others. And besides, I know some people, I think Gonzo really likes Wilshere. I really like him too, but same thing, he has these injury hassles. We've had the same with Sacco, and we've certainly had the same with Big Andy. I don't want Carroll to think I'm ungrateful, but I think we've done more than our fair share, and it's time for him to go. Yes, I want someone in the defensive midfield. I want someone at a right wing back there. And I think we're going to need someone else that gives us something different to Hernandez, Ayew up front. And so we need someone else. I'm not sure who yet, but definitely bring someone in. So that's all from me. Just looking forward to Saturday. A little less pressure on us. We can actually enjoy the game a little more. Stoke was a little nail-biting for me. There were times where they controlled the match quite a bit, and I was a little worried, but we seem to be able to deal with that now. So that's wonderful. Okay, Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you have a good one, and maybe I'll speak to you afterwards.